Hello, welcome to Super Pants Gaming. I'm Soup. Thank you so much for joining me on this, which is episode 4 of Mission 360. Mission 360 is basically where I'm building a highly curated set of Xbox 360 games that I deem the best Xbox 360 games of all time that I can enjoy forever. So, the first things first, I've got a package from retrogames.co.uk, which I've been sort of sitting with for a couple of weeks now. And I was waiting for another package to arrive from somewhere else, which we'll get to in a minute, before I opened it. So first things first, let's go and open that package from retrogames.co.uk and see what we've got. This should be 3 Xbox 360 games, all 3 of which are on the Mission 360 list. So let's get into it. And that's looking good. 2 of these games have got instructions, the other one hasn't. So you can see what one of them is. Just move that off. So very nicely packaged. The first game is another one of the games that I was a little bit concerned about getting a copy of, and that's Monster Madness Battle for Suburbia. So that looks to be in nice condition and is complete with the manual and the disc. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think that's been cleaned before, but I'd say that looks pretty good. So that's one that I'm very, very pleased to get into the collection. That's one of the games that I had about a list of 5 or 6 games that I was a little bit concerned about getting for my Mission 360, and that's one of them. So I'm really pleased to get that one knocked off the list. That's absolutely amazing. The next game is Amped 3. And that looks in very good condition as well. And that's cool. It's even got the warranty thing. I like it when they come with all the little bits as well. That's always an added bonus. And yeah, that disc looks really good. Really good. So, yeah, there you go. That's Amped 3. Really pleased to get that. That's another Mission 360 game ticked off. And last but not least, a copy of Wanted. Now, this is the one that hasn't got instructions. However, this, when I bought it, was £4. If I'd bought it from CEX, it would have been £6. However, I can get the instructions on eBay for a couple of £. And that looks in pretty nice condition as well. So, yeah. Brilliant. So if I do decide to make this complete, it's going to cost me no more than risking getting one from CEX that may not have had instructions anyway. So I thought that was definitely a win for £4. So that was £4. Amped was £2, and Monster Madness I think was £5. It came to just over £14 in total, including the postage. So I thought that was definitely a pretty good deal. And I've now tried out another online seller, which is brilliant because I've got a sort of little list of online sellers where I'm quite happy to go and buy a few games here and there. But I like to always sort of put out test orders first, sort of thing, of sort of £15 to £20 worth, sort of just in case it's terrible. Because to be totally honest, you never know. Because I have in the past gone to a couple of places and it's, yeah, what you get is not what you're expecting, let's just say that. But yes, retrogames.co.uk, brilliant, spot on, exactly what I ordered, very, very pleased, thank you very much. Yes, so I'm massively pleased to have picked up these awesome 3 games from retrogames.co.uk. Especially Monster Madness, because I had a slight feeling that was going to be one of the ones that was going to be a little bit tricky to find. So yes, massively, massively pleased. I'd also like to say on their website they grade the discs, and these discs were all graded sort of 7 or 8 out of 10, and I really like that because you sort of know what to expect. And to be totally honest, I would say the gradings on the discs spot on. These are all 7s and 8s, I would say, if I was going to grade them myself. So yeah. I'm going to put a little link. They have a YouTube channel as well, which you probably already know about. But anyway, I'll put a little link down below in the description. So massive shout out. Excellent, excellent service. Really, really pleased with all the games. So yeah, I'll buy with confidence from there in the future. So without further ado anyway, I've now got a CEX Roulette to get into, so we'll go back to the table and get into that and hope that's as good as what we've just opened. Okay, so we're here with the CEX Roulette, and I just want to say before I open this, I will consider this a win as long as the disc is in relatively decent condition and the sleeve is in relatively good condition. If this doesn't have a manual, I won't be totally upset. So this is just a game that I really want to get in my collection sooner rather than later. So let's go for it. First things first, is it the right game? Oops. Keep that in there, it is. And there we have Wartech on the Xbox 360, of course. That's on the outside. That looks pretty good from the outside, and ooh, I don't think there's a manual, but I'm not sure. Go on, please, please, please. Go on. No, no manual. That's okay though. So see what the disc's like. That looks really good. Yep, so I'm going to be chalking that one up as a win, despite it not having a manual. Like I said, I just really, really wanted a copy of Wartech in the collection. That was the game that I thought was potentially going to be one of the 3 hardest games to get out of all the games that I was after. So I'm really, really pleased to be adding that to the collection. And yeah, massively pleased. Yes, that's awesome. That's Wartech for the Xbox 360 for Mission 360. Yes, I am massively, massively pleased to be adding Wartech to the collection. Really pleased with it. I know a lot of channels would have classed this as a loss on CEX Roulette due to it not having the manual, as we've already discussed. But to be honest, this game is a little bit tricky to get, and it's currently out of stock on CEX. So if I send this one back and wait for another one, it could be a while until I get one, and then the chances are that might not have a manual as well. On eBay at the moment, the cheapest one is actually a disc-only copy, like available for £45. So I think keeping this is probably the sensible option. I'm going to declare it a win because on this channel I don't have to have a manual. Manuals are desirable, don't get me wrong. I would prefer it to be complete and completely mint, but that is definitely passable. The disc looks really good, the sleeve is really good, and that's kind of the 2 things that I'm really after when I'm looking at my CEX roulettes. So I'm declaring the channel 3 for 3 on CEX roulettes. I'm very, very pleased with this, adding this into the collection. So I've got one final pickup for you now, which was from Catterick CEX, which is actually in Catterick Garrison, technically. So I did try and get some footage of the CEX because I know a lot of people like footage out on the road sort of thing. And I must confess I'm utterly terrible at it. So I'm going to patch a couple of little bits in here. So I just want to say a massive thank you to the 2 lads that were working at Catterick CEX. I had a good chat with them, and Catterick CEX is probably one of the best CEXs that I've ever been to. It was just really well laid out, really nice and clean. The guys behind the counter were awesome. I had a great chat with them about retro games and collecting and all sorts of stuff, and they sort of tipped me off to a couple of other places. They were absolutely brilliant. So yeah, definitely one of the best CEXs I've ever been to. As for Catterick Garrison, bit of an odd place, if I'm totally honest. Not really a sort of place to visit, but it was lovely, and all the people that I met there were really nice. So but yes, hopefully there was a little bit of footage there that I was able to salvage. In my own defence, there were quite a lot of kids running around and stuff as well. It was a little bit tricky, and I was a little bit uncomfortable filming there. So it's just a little bit out of my comfort zone. It's something that I sort of need to get used to and need to, basically get better at. Yeah, so the game I picked up from Catterick was Turning Point Fall of Liberty. It's a game that I added to the list a little while ago. I said I'd probably bump into a copy of it somewhere, and yeah, it just so happened to be in Catterick. When I pick games up in the flesh, I do try to get them complete, and this is complete. And if you can see, I've left the receipt in there as well, so you can see where it was from. There you go. Yeah. And yeah, that was £1 from Catterick Garrison, so that's awesome. I know it's an absolutely terrible game. I played it maybe 15 years ago and absolutely hated it. So hopefully it's as bad as I remember and I really enjoy it, because for some weird reason the last sort of decade I've been really enjoying bad games. So there you go. Anyway, thank you for being here for episode 4 of Mission 360. I'm mad pleased to be adding these 5 games to the collection, including a couple of the ones that I thought were going to be really, really hard to get a copy of, like War Tech and Monster Madness. So yeah, massively, massively pleased to be adding these games. I've been Soup. Please like and subscribe, do all that awesome stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.